The Yemeni front has been active up until the last second, side by side with the Palestinian resistance. It even reached a level where they continued to say that we will monitor the ceasefire to make sure there are no breaches. Ansarullah in Yemen were offered billions. They were offered global recognition. They were offered everything that they need just to stop the attacks on Israel. Stop these attacks in the Red Sea. When they were one of very few countries targeting Israel and supporting the Palestinian people physically, in a very lawful and much needed and moral act, having an embargo on a country committing war crimes. This is something that all of the world's countries should have done against the genocide entity. Now, they confirmed that in coordination with Hamas, they released the Galaxy crew. They took control of the Galaxy leadership, and they said this is in coordination with Hamas. If Hamas say we can release them, we will release them. If not, then we won't release them. And clearly they coordinated with the Palestinian resistance up until the last second. Now that we have a ceasefire, they decided to release the crew. This is something very, very symbolic, and this is something that applies pressure on Israel and the genocide cartel as well. Why? Because Israel knows if they breach a ceasefire with Gaza, they're going to have to deal with external measures as well. They've had this temporary ceasefire with Lebanon that's due to, end the temporary ceasefire. The 60 days should end in approximately 4 days, and we're expected to reach a permanent ceasefire. However, Israel made several concerning statements that they plan to remain in Lebanon, although Hezbollah warned them from that, saying that the 61st day will be different than the 60th day if they still remain in Lebanon. But Ansarullah, they haven't stopped. They were always open. And Israel definitely considers that, and it applies pressure on Israel to continue and adhere to the ceasefire agreement and move on with phases 2 and 3 as well. This is something very important. And now the fact that they released this crew at this time where we do have a ceasefire with Israel, between Israel and Gaza, this indicates how coordinated they are with the Palestinian resistance, and that will be something that Israel will have to consider in every single stage of the ceasefire if they decide to breach the ceasefire at any point.